My approach has always been inclusive. I want to know what people think, and I deeply believe in working together. And your best solutions, I think, are government and residents bringing their best to the table.
Parkersburg Engagement Project actually started as far back, root-wise, in 2022 with some national partners convening some meetings. When you bring people together, that is how government and communities are best led, by bringing everyone to the table. So there was a convening of multiple national partners, and from that and their continued meetings, the Parkersburg Pilot Project was born.
I had met other city councilors in other communities. One of the women was Rosemary Ketchum, who was a councilor in Wheeling, and she had been involved with a foundation called the Shift Foundation. It was meant to be bringing citizens and government together to work on problems, and I was fascinated by that.
We were very deliberate in trying to make sure it wasn't a rubber stamp steering committee. It's made up of local residents, Parkersburg residents, and we tried to get people from a variety of backgrounds, belief systems.
We have a 9-member steering committee, local people.
We are all in charge of this project, and we've all worked very well together.
We're definitely a mixed bunch. We've got successful business people. We've got people in recovery. We have city council members. So the points of view are, really broad, and coming to an agreement sometimes is not necessarily the easiest thing, but we manage pretty well.
We've had workshops, how to delegate, how to de-escalate the community. When you're talking to a group and things get heated, it was another useful task.
There's resources to draw on. All of us have been in conversations where groups just fell apart because somebody started yelling and screaming, and it just gets out of control. So we've had training on how do you handle intense emotions. How do you create an environment where people can speak their piece and somebody right next to them can speak the exact opposite, but they're still respectful and still staying in conversation.
It actually flows very, very well. Where I've been to different meetings and voting, and you're like, when you sit in there, you're like, oh my God, like it's so intense. But when you're in the PEP, it's not. Everybody kind of just, we're right there as a team, so that's the key.
Building skills are things that the steering committee will have forever. So I think it's much more sustainable in a community when you're intentional about learning how to do these things. You're not just, that's a great idea, let's pull a bunch of people together and see what happens.
We're all after the same thing. We might go about it different ways or see different ways of getting to it, but we're all after a better community. And so with that in mind, that's kind of how we had to proceed, was, we're all in it for the same reason.
We really wanted to know kind of what was important to the community. And so we sent out those surveys to every single resident.
It was the whole city of Parkersburg, and we ended up with 721 back.
Point of the survey was to identify what community issue impacts the residents of Parkersburg. Substance use consistently came up as the top response.
Topic came from what the community thought, and that was substance abuse, and housing followed really close, and employment followed closely behind housing.
In Parkersburg and all of West Virginia, there's an Appalachian culture where we try to take care of one another. There's certainly compassion. How do you balance that level of compassion with knowing that the town is under siege? So somehow those two worlds have to come together so that we can come up with a workable solution.
The solution series, we talked to a lot of experts. We talked to a lot of people in the community affected, either by profession or personally affected by the opioid epidemic in the Mid-Ohio Valley.
I love having the mix of stakeholders in the community with community members that are affected by this and those with lived experience. So I think having everyone together and being able to provide networking opportunities conversations surrounding substance use disorder and basically breaking stigma. If we can break the stigma, I think we're on the right path.
Collaboration, working together, right? Not one of us is going to solve this problem. It's going to take all the organizations coming together, working together, being cohesive, right? Like, we need to get together and share our resources.
I believe that we should start normalizing recovery sooner, like with kids, let it known like mental health is okay, recovery is okay. It's just about what you do with it.
How do you help people who are addicted go through recovery and maintain and stay clean and sober?
There's a gap between our services and the stability of recovery. There's that small piece in there, that's that transitional piece where individuals, they have their own accountability, so they have to do things, but it's helping to navigate the situations. There's nothing out there right now to help people navigate from one system to the other.
Hopefully we isolate something that we can effectively make some change. Some issue, whether that be transportation, whether that be housing, whether that be supporting the community, those involved or affected by substance abuse.
To bridge the gap between the community and the community government, and build back some trust with people having input in their community.
So that we can once again have a community where you want to raise your children and you want to retire, in that community, and you want to be able to go out and enjoy the parks and just feel like you're living versus, just being existing in a community.
We want community connection. We want to bring people together.
We would like everybody to be involved, and we would like everybody to put their input in. So we hope that when we put it into play, that they will see good and positive outcome.
It's been life-changing, really. It's let you see things it's been there, but you get to see it from different people's perspectives that you normally wouldn't get to hear from.
But overall, I think the most beneficial thing will be that the community talked. They talked a lot, and they engaged, and they became more curious and interested in how policy affects their community and these community issues and grant money and the programs that are meant to help the community. So I'm hoping that in the end, people are more informed, people are more engaged, people are more interested to continue this project in any way.